Hi, welcome to Insight with the Cardinal. Today we're going to be discussing Apolo Kivebulaya, a Ugandan Anglican priest born in 1864. Apolo Kivebulaya was born as a twin, but his brother died at an early age. Apolo Kivebulaya was first born as a Muslim, but later on in life converted to Christianity. And he was known as the Apostle to the pygmies. Apolo started studying for baptism in 1894 and was baptized in January of 1895, I believe. And then he became a Baptist before becoming a priest. Apolo first volunteered in a region called Toro in Uganda, and that was where he first started his missionary work. In 1895, I believe, it was around that time that he got baptized and then volunteered to be a missionary in Toro. Apolo walked over to a mountain, and then while he was walking, he noticed smoke in some particular area and was convinced that then people were there. Meanwhile, before all of this happened, Apolo had left his country when he took this walk. And when I mean he took a walk, I'm not talking about some walk from Murfreesboro to Antioch. No, it was a very long walk. He traveled out of his country. And in those days, remember, they didn't really have airplanes, but horse transportation or sheep. So he decided to take a walk. And he walked into this place called Boga. While in Boga, Apolo preached the gospel of Jesus Christ, and a lot of people gave their lives to Christ or accepted Jesus as their personal Lord and Savior. But mind you, Apolo faced opposition from the same people of Boga because they were more traditional. They believed in fetish things and they were offended by his preaching and sought to get rid of him. In 1898, in the same Boga region, the chief's sister, who coincidentally was living with Apolo in Apolo's household, fell accidentally on a spear and died. Apolo was accused of killing her and was sent back for trial with the British authorities. Having investigated and tried Apolo, Apolo was found not guilty of any crime. Good news is that after his release, the chief of Boga called Apolo back to Boga and then listened to the preachings of Apolo, and then himself became a Christian. And at the end of it all, they became very, very good friends. Apolo died in 1933 in Boga, where his missionary field was. Apolo had a heart problem, but Apolo was a very stubborn Christian. With his heart problem, he still went to preach the gospel in various places. Unfortunately, Apolo died of his condition in May of 1933. Apolo was buried according to tradition because he wanted it so. His head was facing the forest where he went to preach as a sign that Apolo was going to preach. And this is the short story of Apolo Kivebulaya, the apostle to the pygmies.